When Matthias willingly gave his permission, the zookeeper escorted them to a large cage located at the end of the greenhouse. There were birds whose wings weren't clipped yet. The zookeeper pulled out a gorgeous, yellowish-colored bird among the flock of birds and approached the workbench. "What type of bird is it?" Matthias asked as he watched the bird. "It's a canary, master. A lovely singing bird." The zookeeper briefly answered as he covered the bird's eyes with a small handkerchief, and then spread its wings with his left hand. The zookeeper swiftly grabbed a pair of sharp scissors with his remaining hand. The zookeeper moved the scissors' blade without hesitation. The feathers of the cut wings scattered over the workbench. He finished up his work by snipping off the other side of the wings and let the bird free. The bird fluttered its wings desperately, but it did not fly far and slowly sank. As if the bird couldn't deny the fact that it could no longer fly, it tried to fly away several more times, but the result was the same. While watching, Matthias leaned his waist forward and picked up the panting yellow bird, resting at the end of the flower bed. The little bird trapped in his grasp began to struggle and chirp, but its chirp sounded more like a scream than a song. "It doesn't get tamed easily, master. It takes time for the bird to get used to the clipping." Matthias handed the bird over to the zookeeper. "Would you like to try taming one, miss?" The zookeeper gently caressed the bird to calm it. "I'm interested in watching animals, not taming them. Thank you for resolving my curiosity." Claudine politely refused and turned. "Let's return to the tea table now." This time, Claudine reached out her hand first. The memory of the beautiful, sculpture-like hand that was soiled with dust and blood briefly came into Matthias's mind once again and then faded away. Before he left the area with Claudine, Matthias left an impulsive order: "Take it to the bedroom." "Pardon." The zookeeper's eyes widened at the unexpected remark. "That bird." Matthias pointed to the bird with these thinly opened eyes. "My canary." Layla neatly tied her combed blonde hair into a single ponytail. After that, she wore an apron and didn't forget to pick up her massive basket. "I'm going to put an end to this." Layla's face, as she muttered to herself, was quite serious. In addition to Duke Herhart's arrival, Lady Brandt had visited Arvis several days ago. As a result, Layla was in a rush. She had to gather up all the raspberries in the forest before she came across the Duke, or before she got summoned by Lady Brandt. Thankfully, the two were busy. It seemed like they were getting ready for their engagement to go public. Wearing a wide-brimmed straw hat, Layla made a quick step towards the forest. There, she found a bush of overgrown raspberries. No matter how hard the people of Arvis and the forest animals worked and ate, there were still plenty of fruits falling on the floor and rotting away. Layla, who diligently roamed around the forest, filled up the basket before noon. Even though she felt like her arms were about to fall out because of the basket's heavy weight, she felt lighthearted. Leyla threw her basket under the tree shade. She then swiftly headed towards the river to thoroughly remove the traces of the fierce raspberry scent and color off her hands and her face. The Schulter River encased the Herhart's garden and its valleys. The river looked beautiful from the city center, but the place where the Schulter River looked the best was at the Arvis cemetery. Layla took out a handkerchief from her apron and wiped off the water droplets drizzling down her face. The refreshing river played a big role in cooling down the scorching weather during the summer. Layla thought of dipping her feet into the river, but she then shook her head. There were 5 cousins older than Layla in her aunt's house, where she first resided, and before getting sent out, everyone was rough and mischievous. One day, her cousins had dragged and plunged Layla into a river. They justified themselves by stating it was her initiation ceremony into the household. If it weren't for her neighbor, who saved her after hearing her yells, Layla would have been taken by the water ghost.